Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Madden Gaming, and I am back with some more Madden 24 news for you guys. And this one we got Madden 24 ball carrying skill moves one-on-one. So this is gonna be another tutorial. I appreciate this personally because I've always tried to get better at Madden, just get more dialed in for it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this and find useful information in this one. But before I hop into this reaction, I need you guys to like this video right now, subscribe to your boy if you want more reactions just like this one. Without further ado, jump right into it.
Getting your stick skills up to par is one of the biggest things you need to learn when it comes to Madden. So in this
That's
video,
100% true.
all of the ball carrier moves, how to perform them, and which ones are the best so that you can make people miss like
That's
this
nasty.
when you're in the open field.
Oh,
The
ankles.
latest and greatest Madden tips. Join the family, subscribe, we're on our road
Bro,
to 1
you
million, and I'd love for you to
oh, look at his
The
leg.
first and most basic thing you need to know is the sprint button. It's the right trigger or the R2 button depending on your system. This is going to have your player running at top speed. Next up is the juke. You take your right joystick and you flick it to the left to juke left or to the right to juke right. It's pretty simple,
so it's right joystick.
the best ball carrier move in the game. Now if you hold
I always do the spin move.
juking, you'll get a more exaggerated juke. So this is the right trigger or the R2 button plus flicking the joystick. Personally, I think the regular juke is better though. The regular juke is just so much more quick hitting. Watch right here. We set them up and then we just quickly flick it to the inside. It's one of the easiest ways to make the defenders miss. They usually do not respond as well to the juke.
That is dirty.
It just slows you down a little bit. The regular juke is just so much quicker of an animation. You can juke in and then juke right back out just like this without really losing much momentum. So I like to lay off of the sprint button right as I'm going to juke. And then once I'm ready to pull
so you lay off the sprint button. Okay, I like that.
Flicking the joystick to one side and then the other really quickly. So you go right, left, or left, right really quickly, and it'll give them a little bit of a quicker animation to the other side. Next up is the spin, and you get this by pressing the B button or the circle button. Now, in years past, the spin sometimes is very deadly. I find
100%
a little bit more inconsistent now. And again, if you hold
because I remember like Madden 21, 22,
you get a little bit more of an
spin move.
spin. I think the regular spin is better than this one.
Nasty.
It's okay, but the juke is way better. Now you can also combo moves together. You can juke one way and then immediately spin. So right here, juke left and then hurry up and spin.
Damn.
Right here, juke right, hurry up and spin. Now some running backs have abilities that make these moves even faster. So if you have evasive, that your jukes and spins are much quicker.
Look at that.
Juke box, it only applies to jukes and not spins. But a handful of running backs in the game have these abilities.
Spin
and
move.
honestly, if you have juke box or evasive, the juke move is going to be that much more deadly on the defenders. Now let's show some examples here of how to set up the juke. So I like to try to hit it on an angle just like this if I can. They're really good with outside runs or passes to the outside where you can
so outside runs,
sideline, and get a good angle.
Look how deadly this is. God
you can
damn.
Guys miss it once. We're gonna run it back in slow motion again. You like to be on an angle if you can, and then you quickly juke back to the inside, and you'll fake them out most of the time. Here's another example. Sometimes you gotta be a little patient, let it develop, and then boom, you hit the juke inside, and you'll
that most people do not have.
I want to mention that
patience.
I also have a Patreon page where I post the most exclusive, highest level Madden strategy and ebooks to help you dominate your opponents and win all of your games. If you want to check that out, the link is in the pinned comment below, and it does help support the channel a ton. Up next is the hurdle. You get this by pressing the Y or
one of my favorites.
You can try to jump over a defender if they're trying to hit stick you low, but typically this is not a move I go to a lot. Now the jurdle on the other hand is actually good. This is a juke / hurdle combo. You get this by holding the left joystick to one side and pressing the Y or triangle button, and they do like a side hurdle. Now this can be used to kind of quickly cut up field and change direction as you're seeing right here. It's a bit of a glitchy move. I don't think this is 100% how it's intended to be used, but it works really good.
Hey, but it works.
Turn up field. You can hold the joystick.
Give you like an extra boost, an extra gear.
You'll do the little side jurdle, and it gives you a little speed boost up the field, and it's actually really useful.
I know a lot of people are going to abuse that.
Faction. Blaster technology has.
Next up, we've got the hard cut mechanic. You get this by pressing left trigger or L2, and what it's going to do is make your player hard plant and change direction to go upfield. So watch right here as we're going to hard plant into the turf and then burst upfield. This is very useful in the run game because it allows you to hit cutback lanes and hit the open hole when running. Now this can also be useful in the open field. If you hard cut and then immediately push your joystick to the opposite side you're running, you can kind of hard plant and change direction very quickly. But it's most useful in the run game. Right here we see a hole, we hit the left trigger, and then we immediately
I like that.
allows you to really hit these running lanes, and it doesn't slow your running back down. You don't have to manually turn them through the hole. You can see it, hold down left trigger L2, hard plant, and then immediately get going upfield. Here's another example right here. You could see we want to cut back, and you can really sometimes cut back hard into the complete opposite direction if you time this right. You could see here, and that just allows us to set the defense up and get big yards. When we see the defense is setting the edge like this, we immediately cut and we hit the open lane right here, and we pick up big yards. Next is a stop and go, and this used to be better years ago, but it is a way that you can fake out user defenders. So when you're running in the open field, literally all you do is just let go of everything.
Yeah, I used to see this a lot.
Burst forward. The idea here is to make the user defender run right by you. If you just immediately stop and they're running at you on an angle, more times
especially if they full speed too,
they start going by you, you immediately start going upfield again. Next, we've got the truck mechanic. You get this by flicking the right joystick up. You want to use this typically with guys
that's
like
that Derrick Henry,
Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, the big bruising backs, and you can run people over pretty easily.
Great minds think alike.
Derrick Henry right now. You get a one-on-one, you flick the truck.
Oh my goodness.
Over. It's always going to be better with these big body guys because
Derrick Henry running full speed at you. Look at this,
which helps as well, and you can see he's just bruising over people right now. And this is simply
and these are grown men.
Moves in the game. If you're a big back, if you're a small back, you definitely want to go for the jukes more, which makes sense. But if you're a big back, trucking is going to get you extra yards almost every single time.
I wonder if he's going to show stiff arm.
We also have the stiff arm, which is the A button on Xbox and the X button on PlayStation.
I promise you guys, I did not watch this before.
Because you can push guys off and you can get extra yards. And if your running back has an ability such as armbar, which Derrick Henry has, you definitely want to try to stiff arm because you're going to win them more often.
I like the stiff arm animation,
back, which is kind of like a stop and go as well, but it's built in to the controls. So you just flick back on the right joystick and they'll do kind of like a little stutter or a little hesitation. If you do it while holding the sprint button, which is R trigger and R2, they do a more aggressive kind of hesitation. I think the regular way I showed you earlier of just letting go of everything works better in game because you're not pulled into an animation and you can get going back upfield much quicker. Now, if you want to dive with your player, you hold the X button on Xbox or the square button on PlayStation. This will have them reach out to get extra yards, but really the only time you want to use this is when you're right by the goal line. You don't want to do it in the regular field because you'll fumble a lot. So you want to
wow, I like that animation.
Now, if you're wide open and you dive, you're just going to do a celebration dive such as that. But if you have a defender next to you, they're going to dive and try to lay out for the goal line so they can break the plane. Now, if you want to lay down and protect the ball, you're going to tap the X or square button. You do this like late in the game when you're just trying to get down, not take hits. You don't
trying to burn the clock.
Holding it to dive, you tap it and they'll lay down. Now, if you want to do a celebration run when you're wide open for a touchdown, you want to hold the left trigger, right trigger, and A button on Xbox. If you're on PlayStation, it's L2, R2, and the X button. And there's a whole bunch of different celebrations they'll do running into the end zone so you can showboat on your opponent. Now, here's an important one. If you want to slide with the QB, it's the same as giving yourself up. You just tap the X or square button.
Okay, so you tap the X,
crucial because you
the X button,
and fumble the ball.
Oh, especially for quarterbacks.
A new animation where instead of sliding, they do the dive forward, which I like a little bit better because it actually allows you to get an extra yard or two. So again, instead of taking hits, tap the X or square to dive forward. Now, to protect the ball and cover it up, you hold the RB or R1 button, and you'll notice that the running back will put both hands on the ball. And this will prevent you from fumbling most of the time. Again, you would use this later in the game.
That one's big right there. That's a big one right there, guys.
You could just do the go down mechanic and protect the ball that way as well. Now, to lateral the ball, it's the LB or L1 button. If you have a player behind you and you want to lateral and try to go for a big play, you tap L1.
I never tried this. It's too risky for me.
Defenders nearby, you could turn the ball over. Now that you know about the best ball carrier moves, you're halfway there.
I learned so much, man. My go-to moves is always a spin move and the stiff arm, but this was very phenomenal video. Even for pro players that have been playing for a very long time, I think these are really good to know, especially the quarterback one, the slide, because I know a lot of time, because quarterbacks fumble so easily in Madden. They're the easiest ones to get a fumble off of. Just hit a running quarterback and it's almost a guarantee that they might fumble. Sometimes not, but it's a good chance they're going to fumble. Hopefully you guys did learn something new. Let me know in the comments below, what did you learn and what are you going to put into Madden 24? And let me know if there's any other tips that wasn't in this video. Also, you know, help us all out. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.